This video is sponsored by Skillshare. So I buy a lot of stupid stuff. I have a bad habit of buying things online and forgetting about them. And back in 2020, I checked my mailbox for the first time in a while and found this small envelope that I had no memories of buying. I opened it up to see what was inside and found this. A set of stickers I apparently ordered long ago depicting a fully Jokerfied Asuka Langley from Neon Genesis Evangelion in the style of the 2019 Joaquin Phoenix film. Now, if you spend any time on the internet, there's a good chance that this image looks familiar to you, that perhaps at some point you've seen this image before. But if you haven't, I'll try to put it into context. See, at the end of 2019, around the time that the Joker movie was coming out, this image seemingly materialized out of nowhere and kind of quietly took over the internet. You would see it all sorts of places. It's hard to quantify exactly how popular this image is, but anecdotally, I've seen it everywhere, from profile pictures on every social media site imaginable to the front page of the Evangelion subreddit. This image's influence reached beyond just reposts on the internet. It's garnered its own fan art and even inspired countless cosplays. Suffice to say that for a certain subset of people, myself included, this image is inexplicably very powerful. But why? Why does this image hit so hard for so many people? What, beyond the juxtaposition of Evangelion and the Joker, makes this image so resonant? I have a few theories about that. For starters, there's the fact that this is no mere lazy Photoshop. If you look closely at this image like I have, you'll notice that whoever created Joker Asuka didn't just add Joker's hair and makeup on an Eva screenshot. This is an original drawing, an original piece of artwork, right down to the custom version of the 2019 Joker suit the illustrator tailored for Asuka to wear. For a random internet meme, this is weirdly high effort. And to be honest, I worry that even trying to explain why this image is so potent would be risking robbing it of its magic. So rather than to do that, let's just say this. A lot of people from a lot of different walks of life really loved this picture, and I think on some possibly subconscious level, people are reacting to the fact that a lot of love and care went into this illustration beyond just a basic lazy mashup. So these stickers arrive, right? And I take a photo of them and go to post it on my Instagram, and when I do that, it occurs to me that I ought to tag the creator. And that's when I realize I have no clue who created this image. Now this is tricky, because not only did I order these stickers a long time ago, I'd also totally forgotten ordering them at all, much less where I'd bought them from. But I dig through my emails and eventually find the eBay auction that I bought these from, but because the auction was so long ago, I can no longer view the listing. At this point, it occurs to me that whoever I bought these stickers from probably wasn't the image's original creator. So now I'm wondering, who was? Who was the illustrator behind this masterpiece? I begin digging. I find more instances of Jokerfied Asuka than I could possibly count, including a tweet of the image with tens of thousands of likes and retweets, but no source given. I even come across an entire article on comicbook.com called, quote, "The Women of Evangelion Get a Joker Makeover," written about a tweet that grouped the Joker Asuka image with a Joker Rei and a Joker Misato. Not only do these additional Jokerfied Eva girls seem to be hastily reconstructed edits that were inspired by the original Asuka illustration, just look at the copied and pasted suits, but this comicbook.com article actually misattributes the creation of all three of these images to the Twitter user who happened to group them together. It's worth noting, by the way, that this Twitter user never claimed to create them. It was just some sloppy reporting from comicbook.com. So a question people ask me pretty often is, who is my favorite YouTuber? And as far back as I can remember, the answer has been MKBHD. Sure, we make pretty different styles of content, but I seriously admire every single thing that Marquez has done on YouTube. Just the insane level of production value he puts in, the always tasteful, never clickbaity thumbnails. I'm just a really huge fan of his, and a big part of why I've become obsessed with his podcast Waveform is because I just love hearing this guy talk, particularly about YouTube. So imagine my surprise when I logged into Skillshare and saw that there was an entire course on YouTube video production all taught by MKBHD himself, showing real-world examples of how he takes notes, writes his scripts, and puts everything together in the edit. Let me tell you, I devoured this course, and there were multiple things Marquez said in this class that are not just going to stick with me forever, but that actually helped motivate me to finish the video you're watching right now. What's amazing about Skillshare is that this experience I had, they've got something like that for everyone, with classes spanning things like music production, photography, writing, literally thousands of things to choose from. So if you'd like to poke around Skillshare for yourself and see whether there's something you're interested in, the first 500 people to click the link in the description below will get 30 days of Skillshare free, plus 40% off your first year of Skillshare membership. Thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now, the more I looked into this, the more I felt frustrated. Not just frustrated that I couldn't find the source of the image, but frustrated on behalf of this person, someone I've never met and whose name I don't know, that they created this image and no one seemed to know about it. The more time I spent looking into this, the less confident I felt that I would ever figure out who this illustration came from. Doing a reverse image search on Google only turned up reposts of the image, nothing that seemed to approximate an answer. At this point, I decided to look backwards, back to these people who are reselling this sticker. And after doing a little more digging, I find a lead in an unlikely place. I come across a Depop listing of another seller of these bootleg Joker Asuka stickers, and in the fine print of the post, I see this. Asuka Langley from Neon Genesis Evangelion Cross Joker die-cut vinyl sticker. Credit for the artwork goes to the artist Harmva. So I look up the name Harmva, and I come across a small Instagram account with 50-something followers belonging to this artist named Vladimir Guschin. I start scrolling through this guy's Instagram, and immediately I'm wondering, is this the right guy? Like, the stuff on this dude's account is pretty much as far away from Joker Asuka as you could get. The page is filled with countless fine art sketches and detailed anatomy studies, many of them drawn in traditional mediums like pencil and pen. And the more I looked, I saw some video game and anime stuff sprinkled in there too, but it still left me wondering, was this the right guy? Looking through this account, I begin wondering if maybe this person on Depop hadn't done their homework before pirating this sticker, and just attributed it to someone who happened to repost it. But I keep scrolling, and eventually, I spot it. Jokerfied Asuka posted October 2019, the first instance of this image posted anywhere, with a whopping 6 likes. I was speechless. Here we had this insanely influential image, an image that had been reposted thousands and thousands of times, that had inspired people enough to dress up as it, draw their own versions of it, and sometimes build their whole online identities around it. And yet when the original creator posted it, it got 6 likes on Instagram. That's gotta be heartbreaking, right? Worse than that, though, was the fact that people were selling this guy's art without permission, actually profiting from what he drew, and this guy had not seen a cent. And worst of all, I'd bought stickers from these unauthorized freebooters. I was part of the problem here. This whole thing, the more I thought about it, felt pretty unjust to me. But I wanted to know, how did Harmva feel about this? How did the guy who drew this in the first place feel about his image's popularity and its total detachment from its illustrator? So I reached out to Harmva, told him all of this, and he replied. And that's when I had an idea for the video you're watching right now. This was a thrilling development. I was really excited to talk to Harmva about his whole experience with his image, and as it turns out, he was pretty excited to talk to me too. So eagerly, I set up a time to talk with him, and soon it was time to meet Harmva, the creator of Jokerfied Asuka. Hey, how's it going?
Been fine, doing fine.
So I guess let's start at the beginning. First of all, your name is Vladimir, right? Do you go by Vladimir or Vlad, or how should I?
Actually, that's a misconception. A very common one.
Really?
That's Vlad is not Vladimir. Vlad is Vladislav.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's very confusing even for us here. So
interesting. That's cool. So tell me about you making this illustration. and why you made it, I guess, in the first place.
Yeah, okay. So I have a social network popular here that's sort of like a Facebook. So there are public pages, like groups. One such public page or group, they just post anime pictures or drawings, whatever, just simple stuff. It had like 3,000 followers, I think, at the time, or maybe even less. And they had like tradition of setting their avatar of their public page. They used asuka for that. So like Christmas themed asuka, then Halloween themed asuka and whatever. But they didn't have like an artist, so they were kind of whack. And one of the administrators approached me and asked me to make them an avatar for Halloween. So I thought, haha, funny. Halloween Joker, Asuka Joker. Let me just put some makeup on her. So I made it like a couple of hours, just basically a joke, jokingly. I didn't sign it because, well, I thought, well, like a joke, whatever. I sent it to the administrator and went to bed because it was 3 a.m. or something.
The next morning, after Vladimir woke up, it had already begun.
I woke up and it's like, first it starts kind of popping out a little bit in some places here and there, and we're like, how weird. It was like an image with like very bad compression artifacts and some
yeah,
like not an original image for some reason. And then sometime later, it just started appearing everywhere, and there was like a Lush Sucks post, I think, on Instagram. I've seen he posted just some memes. So yeah, it started appearing everywhere. Like huge amount of people started to setting their profile pics. Just everywhere. People started making like not parodies, but giving other characters the same makeup and whatnot. And yeah, just kind of it is a sort of a running joke, like among my friends, that I should have signed it.
Within 24 hours of Vladimir uploading this image to this group, the image had already spread like wildfire throughout the internet, eventually making its way to the front page of R Evangelion memes, where, ironically enough, the upload was titled, "Found this on Instagram, but IDK who made this cause no watermark." Now, to his credit, Vladimir made a few half-hearted attempts to let people know that he'd created the image, but by that point, there was no putting this genie back in the bottle.
And people are actually like searching for who did this, who made this. And I even replied that like it wasn't me, but I'm not so active on Reddit, so perhaps
it got buried.
Kind of, yeah.
And all the time I spent talking to Vladimir, one thing kept coming up over and over: his strong feelings of regret over not having put his name on the image. One of my favorite discoveries on the Harmva Instagram was this: a version of Joker Asuka posted a few days after it went viral, where he posted it again, this time with an enormous, heavy watermark covering the entire thing. In fact, one of the first things I ever came across when trying to confirm his identity was this video on his Twitter account, a meme on a meme on a meme expressing his sorrow at going uncredited. I also asked Vladimir if he had seen the merchandise of his artwork that people were selling, including the stickers I'd bought, and here's what he told me.
Well, I saw that a while back.
Yeah.
Somebody told me about it. I was like, oh, really? You're gonna make money selling that?
Yeah.
I guess I'm not really I wasn't going to like do anything about it, I guess, because it's like I don't own it really. I don't really own it, but it's just like I didn't make any money off that, and some people kind of made maybe a little money, but still it kind of didn't really feel right for me. But it didn't offend me personally, I guess. It's not because they used my image, it's because they trying to sell it.
Yeah, I think that's normal. I think no matter the context, seeing someone selling your artwork without permission and without paying you, seeing that unexpectedly is naturally going to feel strange, I think.
Yeah.
Now, to me, one of the most grievous injustices in this whole situation was that news article written about the Asuka Joker phenomenon, which, hilariously, credited Vladimir's artwork to an Evangelion meme account on Twitter. I found an article on a website called comicbook.com that posted a tweet that was it said the Holy Trinity is complete, and it was Asuka, Rei, and Misato all...
Yeah, I've seen that when...
And what was frustrating about that comicbook.com article is that it said one Twitter fan took it upon themselves to give the anime protagonist Rei Asuke, nope, and Misato and Jokerize them, but this Twitter user did not do that.
Yeah, no, that image, several people I think made all those. I don't consider it like. It's not some art piece to freak out over.
I kind of think it is.
But it has a pretty big cultural value. Well, at least it's a lot bigger than I thought I would achieve in several years. Just I wouldn't think that would happen.
How do you feel about achieving that cultural impact through a Joker meme Evangelion drawing?
I think that's funny, but that's kind of beauty of the internet. A lot of things that I like, they are kind of jokes, but not really.
Oh my god, you're speaking my language right now. I completely agree. While talking with Vladimir and reflecting on the fact that me buying a set of bootleg stickers of his art was the thing that led me to him in the first place, I had an idea. So here's something I wanted to ask you. Do you still have the PSD file or whatever you illustrated the Asuka thing in? You still have the original?
I don't think I have the layers. I have the merged version.
But you have the final high quality version.
I just have full res.
Gotcha.
If you're asking for that, I don't have the layers.
That would be great. And I mean, I want it for my own purposes to use in the video, but I also am asking because I've been thinking about, because this feels, whether big or small, it feels like an injustice to me that you made this thing and didn't get credited for it, and that other people made money on it. Would you be open to you selling the sticker on a website, and I'll just link it and then you take all the proceeds from it? In the video I'll link it at the end, and then people can buy the sticker if they want it from the actual guy who made the art. And is that something you'd be interested in doing?
Well, yes, I would be interested in doing it, but I don't have really a hands-on experience with that stuff.
It's super easy. I'll show you how to do it. Basically, I just feel like if anyone's gonna make money off of Jokerfied Asuka stickers, it should be you, in my opinion.
Well, I suppose that's true. Yeah, that's a great idea and a privilege of you making this possible. If I just make it on my own, nobody, probably few people will buy it. Or
yeah, dude, no problem. It's the least I can do for you giving me such an interesting story. So after our conversation, I walked Harmva through the process of setting up a sticker shop, and now it exists. Now you can buy Joker Asuka stickers of his original drawing on his shop, and he actually gets paid for it. There's a link to that shop in the description below. It turns out, though, we weren't done, because Harmva had a surprise for me. See, if you're watching this video, and even if you've never seen the Joker Asuka image in your life before today, there's one image by Harmva, one painting he did, that I can almost guarantee you've seen before. Listen to what he says here.
I thought about maybe if you like what I do, maybe doing something for you if you need like maybe a, I don't know, profile image branding or whatever, like designs.
I would definitely be interested in that.
I could do that for you.
Cool. So, a few years back when this conversation took place, and God bless Harmva for waiting so long for me to finish making this video, he created this. The profile picture of this very YouTube channel you're watching right now. What a legend. Please subscribe. I've always been fascinated by this wide gap that often appears online between creators and the things they create. When an image gets caught up in the tornado of virality, that piece of content almost always finds itself immediately decoupled from its original creator. Anyone who's ever looked at YouTube Shorts or TikTok or Instagram Reels for more than 30 seconds has invariably seen these accounts that freeboot other people's content, often with no or minimal credit, and reap the rewards of that. As you know, once Vladimir posted this image, it took less than 24 hours for it to get yanked out of his hands and become the property of the internet. And in this video alone, we've seen example after example after example of people who either didn't try to find the creator, didn't care to begin with, or even outright credited Vladimir's creation to somebody else. And you might say that's just the way things are, that that's just the nature of the internet, and yeah, it is, but it also kind of sucks for artists. When I started looking into this, the problem, as I saw it, was that the cat was completely out of the bag at this point, that there's no way to travel back in time and add this watermark to Harmva's image. But hopefully this video, shining a light on who this dude is, will at least start to reconnect these things. And with that in mind, I've got one last thing I want to show you. See, as most of you know, I've been doing this series of posters for every new video I drop, and it seemed pretty obvious what to do for this one, but I wanted to make sure I did it the right way. So, in collaboration with Harmva, and yes, crucially, Harmva is getting paid for this, we teamed up with one of my favorite online brands, Kamikazegirls, to reinterpret his original drawing into something that I think is extremely cool. This magazine cover style poster that the three of us created together. And if you look closely, you'll note that this time around, it's got his signature on it. Also launching alongside this is, after many requests, a design based on the Bringing a Pokemon Back from the Dead video. This illustration by Kale J. Labby is incredible. It evokes kind of the Ken Sugimori style trainer art, but it's got Harrison, me, both our Pokemon, and Gary. And yes, we made a t-shirt variant of this one. All these items are available underneath this video or on Nick Merch. That's nickmer.ch. Lastly, there's a few people I want to thank for this video. First and foremost, obviously, I want to thank Harmva for taking the time to talk with me, for the really cool profile picture that I've been using, and for waiting so patiently for this video. To Kamikazegirls for lending her graphic design talents to our collaboration poster. To Jennifer Walton, who lent her musical talents to compose the cello cover of Cruel Angel's Thesis in the style of Hildur Gudnadottir's Joker soundtrack. I can't believe that she made that stupid idea of mine work. And lastly, thank all of you for watching, and especially thanks to my channel members who make it possible for me to spend this long on a video. Oh, and just as a reminder, go buy some of Harmva's Joker asuka stickers. Seriously, it's a small, silly purchase that you can feel good about. Alright, that's it. Happy Halloween.